I'm Ellen McCauley, Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York, and when I started Pray It Off in 2008, I looked for Catholic weight loss groups. And there might be a couple out there, but there wasn't any that I really wanted to do. And I'm going to keep talking while Bob's going to put new batteries in the microphone. There wasn't any that I wanted. I wanted to do one like this that was kind of based on Weight Watchers, but with Eat Less, Move More, Pray, where there was accountability with the log. So I kind of made up my own. And it has gotten formulaic, and we're Catholics, we love formulas. You know, you come in, you say the prayer, we do this, we sing the song, boom, we're out, we love it. We got a plan, Stan. But one of the places that I saw great information was a website called Taking Back Your Temple, meaning this, the temple of God. I love it. I go to it a lot. I thought this article was so important that I put the whole article in there because it's a faith-based way of looking at losing weight. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to highlight a few things and encourage you to read it when you get home. I love this line. Overeating is the tongue writing checks that the body can't cash. I think we should say that as a group. Overeating is the tongue writing checks that the body can't cash. And sometimes you think, oh, my body can cash this, and guess what? It says, oh, no, I can't. And that's when there's like a little moment at the scale. Now, there are times where you might be out exercising the whole day in a heat, drinking a lot of water on a Thursday. That water weighs a pound for every 16 ounces. Don't judge yourself on that. But if you're having too many treats, the body can't cash that. Anything, and this is interesting, overeating costs the average family nearly $500 a year. You know, those McDonald's runs, the extra stuff, etc. I think that many of us are eating our futures away, literally. We're tearing down the walls of our life with poor health choices. We cannot reign in life if we live unrestrained. That's what we're trying to learn here at Pray It Off. Wisdom, which is a gift of the Holy Spirit, and I'm getting a lot out of the Pentecost Novena, and I hope you guys are too. Wisdom requires that you set boundaries to your behavior and say, this I will accept and this I won't accept. Just like sin, there's a big 10. There's, Lord's name in vain. Keep holy the Sabbath. Don't kill anyone. Don't steal. Don't commit adultery. Big 10 mortal sins. There's a big 10 for Pray It Off too, you guys. If you don't ever move, the scale will never move. You have to eat less if you want to weigh less. We have to change our behavior in order to have changes. Do I control my behavior, or does my behavior control me? When you get the bag of chips and you're watching a show and you're reaching in, the bag's empty, are you controlling that, or is it on automatic pilot? Habits control us. And it's funny, I have habits that are very difficult to break. I like condiments. I'm a condiment queen. People call me the condiment queen of New Orleans. I love condiments. I've had to really try to investigate things with Whole30. Yellow mustard is pure. There's no calories. It's natural. I now am addicted to yellow mustard. You're going to love this one. Frank's hot sauce.
Oh, I love that.
Bob's like, how can you eat that? The hotter, I love it. Give me some chicken and I slather that it's like free. And my eyes start watering, my nose starts running, and I'm like, praise you God for Frank wherever he is. I'm in love with Frank because he made Frank's hot sauce. So I have a bit habit. It does kind of control me, but I've tried to get a more healthy habit. If your habit is eating ice cream, what can you do? Can you find some lower calories, some sherbet, maybe have it once a week? try to modify your behaviors. You say, I must change this habit. It is no longer acceptable to me. I must change it now. I am committed to changing no matter how long it takes. Holly said she's been here since session 8. It's session 17. Did she give up in session 10, 11, 12, 13? And I have to remind you, each session is 6 months. We're not talking 17 days here. We're talking almost 9 years. I didn't give up. I can look around and say, guess what? Nobody else in this room did either, and I'm proud of every one of you. Temperance is moderation. And at the bottom of this page, I wrote, and you might, I know all of you can understand my cursive writing. Did I tell you the story about going to the baby shower last week? I don't know if I did. I went to a baby shower for a young girl who's having a baby, and I wrote the most beautiful message in her card, and she held it up and she goes, well, what is this? I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, why did you do this? I go, you mean write in cursive a message in your car? She couldn't read it. She could not read my message. And everyone's like, oh, on Facebook, people are like giving her lessons on cursive and joking. I have fancy cursive. I mean, look, you know, it's from the old school.
Very nice.
But the thing is, it's a dying art. But the point I'm trying to make here is I want you to discuss sane eating in small group. What is sane eating? S, start when you're hungry. Start eating when you're hungry. A, appreciate every bite. Now this one you might go a little crazy with. No food is forbidden. I can embrace that. Woohoo! E, end when signaled. And what will signal you? Your body. How many times have we tried to squeeze in another loaf of bread when our body was like, I'm kind of full?
Another loaf.
Also, we need to practice sane eating. And here's what I say. I think good practice is to have 3 meals a day, period. I think the devil is in the snacks. You know, because you could have all the good intentions. And I'm not talking about blood sugar, adult diabetes. You guys are over here, and I know you got to eat certain things. But anyone else, I have had 3 meals a day for 9 years, and I'm still here. Look, didn't kill me. Didn't kill me. 3 meals a day, believe me, you're hungry. The phone rings when I'm having my dinner, unless it's Obama, I do not answer. I'm eating my dinner, it's sacred, I'm hungry. And sometimes I'll say, the night before I'll say to Bob, I have 3 important questions about tomorrow, Bob. And he'll go, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm like, yes. And we plan out what we're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because that is what we do. And here's something else. When you eat, you have to pause and not gobble it in. Because it takes 20 minutes for your body to feel the food and tell you you're hungry. Is the signal coming from your tongue or your emotions? Or are your emotions and thoughts trying to write checks your body can't cash? We need to eat when we're hungry, and if we are anxious, we need to pray about it. Bob and I have been stopping there. Let's pray about it. And you know what? It is powerful. It is not just to ourselves, right out loud. And if I'm on my way to work, I've been praying out loud in the car. People think I'm on a Bluetooth. They don't, you know, so many people talk on Bluetooth now. They don't know you're talking to yourself, praying to God. So talk to God out loud. And you know why I like doing it out loud? Because then my mind doesn't wander when I'm talking out loud. When you pray out loud. And here's something else. This is big, and I'm going to share it with you. Do I have everyone's attention? It's big. So I told you last week that I started saying the rosary every day for my mother. And I get to work at 7. I don't have to start till 8:30. So I'm saying the rosary on Monday at 7, and I said, what am I doing here, sitting at my desk, praying the rosary? I stood up, and I said the rosary, marching in place. And that's what I call pray it off. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. 15 minutes to say the whole rosary with all the mysteries. I challenge you all to grab that rosary, march in place for 15 minutes, And you might say, well, I don't have the mysteries memorized. I don't either. I had it laying on my desk and I'd look down and say the mysteries. It's powerful. Pray it off. Pray, write down what you want God to hear. You know, so people say to me, Ellen, can you pray for this person? I write it down. Figure out 5. I have no hunger pains at all. I'm full from my previous meal. 4, I have no hunger pains at all. I'm not full, but I'm satisfied. Think about it. I mean, when your stomach is growling and you feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten since lunch and it's 6 o'clock, you're hungry. If you just ate 5 minutes ago, you're not hungry. Also, when you eat when you are hungry, your body can easily cash the check. Appreciate every bite. No foods are forbidden. Now, I do want to mention, even though no foods are forbidden, there's some that your body can't cash. My body wasn't cashing dairy. My body wasn't cashing gluten. If you're eating too much pizza, your body can't cash it. Also, if you're eating and you feel drug numbed or suffering from brain fog, anyone ever feel that way when you eat too much? You feel bloated or nauseous, you feel sluggish or sleepy. You're eating too much. You should be able to get up after eating and fully function. The food you eat should give you energy, not deplete it. End when signaled. No matter what you're eating, stop. Because guess what? We live in Syracuse, New York. We live in an affluent community. There will be more food. When you're done eating lunch, guess what? No one is eating lunch going, I don't think so. I mean, I know all of you. I don't think any one of you has to worry that there will be food for dinner. Because there will be. So stop. Because there's more food. You can get in your car, drive to Wegmans. There's a ton of food there. It's a candy store. You know what? I like to even look at the Wegmans paper. It's like looking at a naughty magazine to me. Whoa, look at that. Woo, that is nice. Woo. And I feel guilty pleasure. But we did find a recipe for salmon with capers and tomatoes and onions. So I'm on the phone with my mother and I said, Mom, we're going to have salmon with capers and onions and tomatoes. And she goes, ha, capers? I hate capers. I said, really? Well, when's the last time you had a caper? She goes, what is it? What is it? She said she hated it. So I said, I don't know what it is. So I'm on the phone with her and I'm Googling it on my phone. It's an immature flower pod that is pickled. And guess what? Everyone's loving the capers. I don't know about my mother. She still hates them, but she's never had any. Try something different. Also, the Clean Plate Club. If you are a card-carrying member of the Clean Plates Club, you have to turn in that card. I am asking you to return it to me before you leave the group tonight. Because there's Tupperware. There's restaurants. Can you box this up? And you might say, well, Ellen, it's 80 degrees in the car. I had to eat it. I couldn't have her box it up. You can live if you don't. Imagine that you will lose weight. And remember this. Satan used temptation of food to usher sin into the world. I thought that was interesting. I'm going to stop right there, Bob.